I want to talk a bit about kind of things you're interested in from an investment standpoint. It's more sectoral a little bit. You were asked this recently in an interview, and I'm going to ask about two of them. The first one you talked about was education. And historically, when venture capitalists have invested in ed tech companies, it has not gone very well. It's why there's relatively few of those. Is there something structural? Is there a reason why generically education technology is interesting today from an investment standpoint?
Right, so let's divide ed tech into higher education and broad-based K through 12 education. And for the moment, focus on the US, which we know pretty well. And they're different. But they both possess the property that they're among the most resistant to change organizations that are really vital to our future and our economy. So we've seen some bigger than $1 billion outcomes, right? LinkedIn bought Lynda for $1.5 billion. I'm an investor, full disclosure, in Coursera, which just delivered $8 million, received that on data science specializations with Johns Hopkins, one university. So there's real revenues there, real business models that are working. But K through 12 education is particularly interesting because for decades, technologists have fought to get technology into classrooms. Remember, Bill Gates was going to put PCs in all the libraries. This is going to transform everything. And the institutions are bureaucratic and they've got entrenched interests and they don't have a lot of money. But while no one was looking, 70 million kids walked into the classroom with all the technology they need to follow their Khan Academy instructions or to develop their quizzes on Quizlet, or a venture we invested in that I think of as the WhatsApp of education, Remind 101, has 30%, fully a third of the US school teachers sending safe, secure messages to their students, to the parents. And the effect of that on outcomes are really great. So at Kleiner, we're very selective, but we think bigger than $1 billion companies can and we built there. That's education.
I'm curious, is it...
Oh, and it's global, you know?
Can I just ask, I mean,
it matters a lot.
Can I ask quick, I guess, and it's a topic that doesn't get talked about that much, but a quick digital divide question. You talked about 70 million kids, not necessarily with an iPhone, but with a smartphone. Obviously, lots of kids also still without a smartphone. Does that become an educational problem if education, and granted, every school is different, every district's different, but if kids having smartphones becomes a really important part of education process for the kids who don't in the districts that can't afford to give their kids a phone?
So even in the poorest of districts, most of the kids have a cell phone. Okay. Most of them really do. And so the Remind messaging can go just SMS to those. And that's changing. $100 Androids. This is where the kids live. This is where you find the parents.